Once again, because I've already recorded this and I'm recording it a second time, my video for July the 4th, 2019 is video number 3136, and the title is I Sat for the National Anthem. Yes, the 4th of July is called Independence Day in the United States. I attended a meeting where they were playing all sorts of patriotic songs, many of them country songs honoring America, formerly called Land of the Free and Home of the Brave. I was the only one in the room that sat through the national anthem. After about 45 minutes into the 1.5 hour program, my stomach hurt so badly I had to get up and leave the room. I had to empty my bowels 4 times over the next hour or so. Why? I thought it was because even though I was in a small minority there that had actually served in the military, I no longer have a sense of pride in regard to the nation in which I was born. In fact, I have a sense of shame that so many Americans are clueless in regard to human rights and values. I am proud of the Declaration of Independence. Got to add a letter there. The original U.S. Constitution with the Bill of Rights up through and including the original 13th Amendment that was replaced by charlatans. I was not taught that in school, although when I went to school back in the 1950s and 60s, civics classes were part of the curriculum. No more. Now kids are taught lies and are mostly brainwashed by the corrupted system. Indeed, you can see the real U.S. flag. That's the peace flag of the United States. Most people don't know that, but it's underneath the welcome on the wall behind me above the globe. And there's a picture of me where the candles are, fake candles are lit up. And it shows me in my Army uniform. I served in the U.S. Army, and I was proud to serve the country that I thought was the land of the free and the home of the brave. But it's become the land of the slave and the home of people that are deceived. It's the land of the deceived and the home of the slaves, because everything we've been told, not just in the United States, but around the world, what we've been told about ourselves is a lie. The good and evil thing is a lie. I keep listening to the John Pinella's things again. I didn't even go to, I went to bed last night after I put my video up at midnight. I went to bed, and an hour and a half later, I was still wide awake. So I finally got up until after 5 a.m., was listening to more John Pinella videos, and he's explaining how we've been deceived. And I'd like people to get it through our heads, and even more importantly, through our hearts, that the whole good and evil thing is totally a deception. And when Jesus said, "My kingdom is not of this world," he even meant the United States of America, which I thought was fulfillment of biblical prophecy. But what kind of prophecy? When the United States has become the warmongering nation of the whole planet. We have troops, as I've said, all over the world, and the countries that don't allow our troops in there to monitor their governments, which is a mind control setup anyway, they're considered enemies. Russia is considered an enemy. Iran is considered an enemy. Anyway, folks, what I'm trying to say, and I've said it before in previous videos, and I will say it again in future videos, we have been totally deceived and defrauded of our natural rights by charlatans that have created a monetary system that enslaves us. But it's every aspect. Our religions have been infiltrated. Our schools have been infiltrated. Our money system is insane. They got rid of the gold and silver and the asset-backed currencies and create money out of thin air, and they enslave us through a process of debt and taxation that is totally unlawful. But of course, how do you expect demons to play lawfully? And I don't think that the people that run the show are actually human. They can't be human. They lack empathy. They lack the natural things. In the 1950s and 60s, we were patriotic. We did the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag every morning. That was the opening thing going to school when I was just a kid, and even into high school, it was still part of the way that we did things. But then under Nixon, everything changed. I mean, of course, it had been being changed prior to that, but nowadays kids don't even know what the Lord's Prayer is and the Pledge of Allegiance. What's that about? Somebody sent me a video earlier that had the Democratic things, and there's not a single flag showing. And yet, when Trump went to Korea, there were the Korean, North Korean flag interspersed with American flags all over. And, at the meeting that I went to, where I was getting sick because they were doing all these patriotic songs, and they had the gold fringe flag, and gold fringe flag is not the United States flag. It's not even the war flag, which is the one we think of as the United States flag. That's the war flag with the horizontal stripes. The vertical stripes is the peace flag, which has never flown hardly ever in the history of our country, but it exists. In any case, folks, I am extremely frustrated having to record this video again. The other one went 10 minutes, but I don't think I can make 10 minutes now because I'm so frustrated. I had all the lights turned back off, and I had taken my shirt off, and I didn't even bother putting it underneath the button-down collars this time, my necklace or pendant. Anyway, we have been stripped of all dignity, and mostly we've been stripped of the truth about who we are. We are created in the image of God with natural rights, and God's kingdom is not of this world. This is a world of deception that we live in. And hopefully, as John Pennella is teaching in the book that the final book of this 8th book in the series, and now I'm going back and listening to book 3, which I hadn't listened to before. But anyway, he's saying that Jesus taught that his kingdom was not of this world. If his kingdom was of this world, he would have his people fight for him. But that's not going to happen. But we are going to go through the latter part of the tribulation. And those of us that wake up and embrace the truth are going to be protected somehow. I don't understand all of this. I don't claim to. It's food for thought, and I chew on it, and I think about it, and I would encourage you to also do it. But as far as the national anthem and patriotism, the United States is not a nation that should be honored, because we have dishonored humanity in fighting wars against every nation in the world. The only nations that don't have military bases in them, as far as I know, are Russia and Iran. There might be others, but with very few exceptions, the U.S. military is everywhere, meddling in other people's business, and this is a crime against the freedom of people to determine their own lives and to live free and have capabilities of survival and thriving in a world. But we can't thrive under a system of slavery that we've been under for a long time. It's the home of the slave, the land of the brainwashed. Thank you for listening, and namaste.